45% of adults in this country say their mental health has been negatively impacted by the coronavirus pandemic. That's according to a Kaiser Family Foundation poll. Routines, direct contact with others, and social bonds have been severely restricted by guidelines aimed at keeping us safe. So this impact may likely be felt by scores of athletes. In our continuing series addressing Mental Health Awareness Week, we look at the NBA, who has a structure in place to support players' mental wellness needs due to developments in the league 2 seasons ago.
Lillard, this is for the win!
It was one of the most exciting seasons in recent NBA history. But the 2017-2018 season will perhaps be remembered for far more than basketball. That NBA season saw some of the top players open up about mental health. First among them, Kevin Love, who admitted to having a panic attack during a Cavs game. He spoke to ESPN's Jackie McMullen.
It was a little scary, suffering with anxiety and depression for a long time into having my first panic attack, and knowing that it doesn't discriminate and knowing that I'm trying to change the stigma not only for people in sports but all over.
Soon, others would follow. Former first-round pick Kelly Oubre Jr. talked about dealing with anxiety and depression. And All-Star DeMar DeRozan also stepped forward.
I held in a lot of stuff. Most lies that's told every single day is a white lie. You good? How you doing? Man, I'm good. You all right? Good. And it's like, for me, I just never taught at all. When you grow up that way, it puts you in a deeper and a darker place.
In April of 2018, the NBA released a public service announcement. And as the 2019-2020 season started, the NBA set new and expanded mental health policies, including requiring all 30 teams to have at least one full-time licensed professional on staff.
Kids are now coming in and saying, wow, this NBA player is able to, raise their hand and say, I'm suffering, I need help.
The National Basketball Players Association established a program to help members deal with mental health issues. And that program's wellness counselor, Keyon Dooling, who spent 13 seasons as an NBA guard, now joins us. Well, Keyon, how did you go from being a player to a wellness counselor in the NBA?
Wow, how did I go? At the end of my career, I had a battle with my mental health. I was experiencing PTSD and got exposed to mental health and wellness, went through my healing process, and, kind of evolved into this wellness advocate. And so when the Players Association decided that they wanted to start a wellness program, Michelle Roberts thought I would be a good fit.
All right. So in your position now, what unique mental wellness issues are players you work with facing during this pandemic?
Wow. I think our players are like everyone else. I mean, we have international players as well. So they're thinking about their families. They're isolated. So there's some challenges there. There's a lot of doubt and uncertainty that our guys are experiencing. So like everybody else, we're just trying to wrap our mind around this pandemic and manage our emotions, our mental health around, this uncertain time.
So how difficult is it for you right now to do your job when you can't have direct contact with players? And how are you establishing contact to be able to help them?
Yeah, I think we have to be creative. I know sometimes we knock technology, but hey, Zoom has been an ally of mine during this pandemic. But I just think we have to be creative. Our players are on social media. They're very visible as far as on the internet. And so I try and keep up with the guys through text messages, through IG. And, we have wellness Zoom calls every week. And so guys will come in and share their experiences and, just allow, us to support them through this uncertain time.
The NBA has been talking, there have been so many talks about returning to play. Do you have any issues with players returning to the game? There's been so much talk about safety and what situation would be right for everyone involved.
Yeah, I don't know if we have all those answers, right? That's why Adam Silver and Michelle Roberts are working so diligently to, one, not only protect our players and all the people who work around our game, but also to protect the brand. And so there's a lot of communication going on higher levels that's above my pay grade. But I think what everybody wants is, safety first, and then, try and find some normalcy around how we can come back and do what it is that we do.
I want to ask you quickly about your job. The majority of the players in the NBA are black, and tell us about what you think the perception is of mental health in the black community and how that impacts how you do your job.
Well, I think it's shifting. I know coming up, there was a lot of negative stigmas associated with mental health and wellness. In particular, for our players who come from urban pockets, they've been through some very traumatic experiences. And so a lot of that is still stored in their body. And so what we try and do is we try and, give them a space to heal. We try and connect them with the resources that can allow them to grow, heal from their past, heal from their traumas. But I think as far as the negative stigmas, 5 years ago, we're in a much better place now today than we were 5 years ago. I think, between Kevin Love and DeMar DeRozan and Meta World Peace and so many people championing the message, mental health, I really believe, has been destigmatized.
So what advice do you have for athletes right now who might be struggling mentally with being away from their sport and with this coronavirus pandemic?
Well, I would say the first thing is that we have to recognize that this is a unprecedented time, right? We never have in our lifetime gone through something like this. So recognizing that, one, we are in a real critical time. The second thing is try and build that routine. I think most athletes, we're creatures of habit. We're big on routine. So find your routine, not only around your physical health, but your mental health, your emotional health. I would also challenge everybody out there to try and develop something. I know I've been working on my cooking skills, and I'm almost, at chef status.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.